Hey everyone, again, this is Alvaro Cortez. This is, if I'm not mistaken, the third video I do of this vlog or vlog kind of thing. Sorry, my hair tends to do that lately a lot. It's like it wants me to eat it or something. I don't know. It's weird like that. But anyway, um, just to get it out of the way, it's unfortunate all the things that have been going down at Orlando. It was really a tragic day for everyone, and I've seen a lot of people like at both sides of the spectrum just like being angry and spewing a lot of vitriol and pointing fingers. Like, I personally think that now is not the time to be exactly pointing fingers, but to really hold hands and heal, like, this is a devastating thing that happened. Many people lost their lives, many people lost family members, friends, lovers. It really a very dark day for everyone involved, and hopefully things will happen where these kind of things won't keep happening. I don't know how that will work precisely, but hopefully common sense and love will prevail throughout all of this. And that's pretty much all I have to say about what happened in Orlando. Fortunately, friends and family that I have living in the area were not affected by this terrible thing that happened. And all I can say is my thoughts are with all the victims and their families. And it's a really charged topic to talk about, really. Like, it's almost unbelievable that something like this happened. But again, my thoughts go out to everyone involved, and hopefully some measure of peace can be found eventually for everyone that are going through this horrible experience. In my personal life, school ended for me. I believe I'm going to get straight A's in my classes, which is good. Again, I've been updating my comic pretty consistently. It's like right on the verge of entering the top 100 most read, so that is also pretty cool that it's retained somewhat the level of readers that it had before. Like, it doesn't really like have the amount of readers it had before. I basically have to rebuild my audience in a way. But again, like, I retained quite a few readers somehow throughout the years, and I really do appreciate that. I really appreciate the comments that are being left. And I'm working on new projects as well for Truthful Comics, and I'm going to be soon making a new comic for an anthology that we're planning to make called Truthful Comics Presents, along with Manuel El Kid Carmona and Corey Rockbottom Davis. That's going to be fun. If each of us are going to have a story each, around 10 pages each. So I'll have more information about that on my main YouTube channel. You'll find the links to my main YouTube channel in the description box below, and I'll probably talk behind the scenes stuff about it here in the vlog as well, most likely. So yeah, and last but not least, I guess, how about those NBA finals? Like, this is really, really turning into one competitive physical match like we haven't seen, or at least I haven't seen in a long time. And whenever two teams as competitive as Cleveland and Golden State meet, and meeting in the second finals in a row, like, you hear like some analysts and journalists, right? Like, oh, this used to be such a respectful rivalry between these two teams, and blah blah blah. It's like, Of course, eventually it's going to become more physical. If anything, if anybody knows anything from basketball in the past, like whenever teams meet like this in the playoffs or in the finals consistently, eventually any kind of respectful rivalry, as they call it, goes out the window. Like it eventually does turn physical, it does turn personal, it does turn into like this high octane, high intensity almost wrestling match between the two teams where it becomes almost more a thing of pride than anything else. Like it was seen with the Knicks and the Bulls, the Knicks and the Pacers, Miami and Boston, Lakers and Celtics, even to an extent, Chicago Bulls and Utah Jazz when they played each other back to back as well for those championships, if I'm not mistaken, in '95 and '96. So yeah, eventually emotions boil over and they simmer, and especially in this league nowadays, that everything is so protected in a way. I don't know. I hate to say what a lot of people have been saying lately, that the NBA has been going soft, but to an extent it has, to where a player of the caliber of LeBron James pretty much challenges the league to take action against another player, and they just kind of shrivel up into a corner and just oblige. And it was something amazing to behold. And say whatever you want to say, but it did affect the series. Draymond Green not playing for Golden State. I don't know if it would have made any difference of Cleveland winning or not tonight, but it did feel like he did bait him into getting into trouble. Like I know LeBron said in the conference on the yesterday, I believe, or the day before during practice, that he wasn't aware, that nobody's really aware of how many flagrant foul the opponent has, that he only knows what's happening in the actual game. Like, seriously, of course they have to know. If they didn't know, he wouldn't have complained as much as he did, or Tyrone Lue for that matter. So yeah, I really, that was sounded very disingenuous of him. Like it sounded almost as disingenuous as his laughter when he was asked if his feelings were hurt by Draymond Green when Klay Thompson made that comment, which was pretty hilarious. Either way, I don't have a dog in this fight. Like I've been a Miami Heat fan since the Alonzo Mourning, Dan Marley, Tim Hardaway days, so it really doesn't affect me either way. I'm also a Spurs fan. But if anyone's going to win, I guess I side with Golden State. I've always had a soft spot for the Warriors back from the day because Mitch Richmond was actually one of my favorite players. And of course, the great Chris Mullin, who eventually helped the Indiana Pacers, reach the finals for the first time against the Lakers. And so yeah, I'm familiar with the Warriors. I've kind of kept tabs on them. They've always been kind of like one of my, like, not favorite teams, but that kind of team that you kind of feel good for when something good happens for them, especially since they spent so many seasons struggling so much. So it's nice to see that they won the championship last season and they're on the verge of winning the championship this season as well. LeBron James, I there's really not much I could say that hasn't been said about him. I've mentioned before that I did not like it when he joined Miami, the same way I did not like when Shaquille O'Neal joined Miami, because those are the type of players that I just couldn't really stand, to be honest. Even if they were key instrumental parts in winning championships, which thank you, I guess, by the way. But, it is what it is. Part of me did enjoy seeing Miami win those three championships. The first one with Shaq and the young D Wade, and of course the back-to-back when LeBron James had taken his talent south. We all know Shane Battier and Mike Miller were the ones that really helped. But anyway, that's another story anyway. So Thursday, it's going to be a pretty intense game. Draymond Green should be back. I don't know if Andrew Bogut will be back. He seemed to have sprained, hyperextended, or something his knee on that play. I don't recall against who it was, if it was Tristan Thompson or someone on a drive that he blocked the shot and the momentum took him and it undercut his legs, unfortunately, and he had to be pretty much helped off the court and stayed in the locker room the rest of the second half. Hopefully he's all right. So that's pretty much it for now. This video's ran over 10 minutes like these vlogs. I just want to keep it as short as possible because they're just ramblings really. I just want to get comfortable, learn to get comfortable in front of the camera and whatnot. And this is just kind of like a bit of an experiment for me, I guess, to kind of help me express myself better. So anyway, if you've been watching, thank you for listening to these ramblings, and I hope to see you guys again next time.